Hey there, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's well. I'm doing pretty good. I'm in the process of taking a little short trip from Parma, Ohio to Millersport, Ohio. Only 130 miles. Just trying to make a few extra bucks. I'm trying to stay home all week. My girlfriend got home Monday, and she's been gone for 90 days, so I'm trying to stay home all week and hang out with her. And in order to do that, you got to make a few dollars, so I'll be home as much this week as my bank account will allow me to stay home. Kind of touch on a couple of videos I watched. One was Into the Mystery, and the other one is Camper Van Quarry. Into the Mystery, he's currently on a road trip from Oregon to Salem, Massachusetts, and Camper Van Quarry is about to begin his trip from Florida to California. I'm not sure what part of California his destination is, or even why he's going out there. I know Into the Mystery, he's doing it for the experience of the travel, but he's also, his specific destination is Salem. He's got a job working a haunted house out there, I believe, that he did last year, so he's heading out there. Any of you that watch it, you're familiar with this anyhow. But the reason I bring him up is Into the Mystery, watching him so far on his travels, just like how excited he is to see certain landscapes, mountain ranges, just things of that nature. It's just kind of like I said, I can't think of the right word to describe what I'm wanting to say there, but it's just kind of crazy to see him how like excited he is to see some of these things that those of us that do expediting or truck driving, that work over the road, we see these things on a regular basis. Now, I don't know, I can't speak for all the other drivers, but me personally, I still, some of the sights for me that still just kind of puts me in awe to an extent is still being near mountains. Just, it's still like, wow. Or large bodies of water, it's just, those two things just makes you realize how small you are, so to speak. But yeah, watching Into the Mystery travel, it's just so, I don't know, it's almost kind of like watching your kid experience something for the first time. Not to say he's my kid, but that's kind of the best way I can describe what I'm talking about. Just watching him and just seeing a lot of these things, for the first time, or one of his first few times seeing it, because I don't believe he's done a ton of traveling in his life. I think he did a little traveling last year, because he was in Salem last year also, but from my understanding. But yeah, just watching them, and again, also, it's like watching a new expediter come out here on the road, kind of trying to get accustomed to how to actually live out here, because he's kind of a van dweller to the extent that he's, staying in his van to travel, but he's not a van dweller to the extent like this is what he does on a regular basis. So you can still see him kind of getting his sea legs to him, so to speak, kind of figuring out how to make do. One of the things that comes to mind at first is just like his search for Wi-Fi or a spot to park to feel comfortable, either cooking or napping or whatever it may be. But those are kind of some of the things that some of us that first come out on the road, we kind of experience and look for ourselves. And try to get in touch with him a couple times in his comment section, but have yet to get a reply from him. I don't know if I should feel some kind of way about that or not. But yeah, I was kind of trying to meet up with the guy, because he should be passing through Ohio, coming across 80 during this week sometime while I'm home. So it would have been cool to try and meet up with him. If not, whatever. Still check out the channel. To me, the appeal of his channel, I like the kind of the vlogging type channels, which is the majority of what he does. He's just him in front of the camera just talking about his yourself or whatever, which is the kind of stuff I like. I'm not into the, you know, show me a movie and all kinds of, you know, bells and whistles and stuff. I just like, you know, kind of raw and tell me about yourself, tell me what you're doing, that kind of stuff. So that's why I enjoy watching them. But yeah, just wanted to get in touch with them to give them a couple of tips as far as places to go for Wi-Fi, places to park that are not going to bother you if you're sitting out there in your van for an extended period of time, or to nap. Help him out with a route. I don't know if he's got money to just blow, because he's going to spend a pretty good little chunk of change coming across the turnpike on 80, coming through Indiana and Ohio. So was wanting to kind of give him an alternate route to run through Indiana and Ohio until he gets back onto 80 after Ohio. But as I said, he hasn't gotten back to me. I'll try again, maybe in another comment section, see if I can get a reply out of him. But yeah, and then you've got Campervan Corey, who hasn't begun his trip yet, but his video that he put out that I watched today, he's kind of talking about being nervous, and it's kind of, you know, being emotional, leaving his family and stuff, so leads you to believe he hasn't traveled much. So again, I come from an upbringing that, you know, whose father was a truck driver, and, you know, as a kid went on a few trips with him, and then, you know, once became old enough to drive, my brother and I, we both, you know, did certain trips driving for him. So, you know, I guess we're a lot of people our age, when we were 17, taking some trips out of state, we're barely getting out of their own little neighborhood or city. So just the difference in how people are brought up and what they've experienced is kind of something to think about. You know, I can, as I said, just being nervous stuff. I mean, to us, you know, it's just, I mean, it's like anybody else that's never left their city, just going to work or something, or that lives in, or that goes to work in the next city. That's kind of how it feels to us to go somewhere out here in the States to take a load or what have you. It's not a big deal, so to speak. I mean, as I said, you still enjoy the sights. Me personally, I love the driving, I love the travel. I still love seeing, you know, the different sceneries and places I go. There's some of them that have become monotonous and boring, but for the most part, though, I mean, it's still, if you don't enjoy it, if you can't still enjoy seeing some of the things, I mean, it's just, your job obviously is going to become less appealing and less enjoyable. So, I mean, for me, I haven't lost that zest or that enjoyment of being on the road and traveling and just seeing things in general. Just seeing people, seeing landscapes, seeing, you just see something different every day. You might notice something different every day, but yeah, it's just kind of crazy to see the two differences in their approach or their reactions to being on the road. Because for me, it's just so common, you know, as it is, as I said, for a lot of us that are out here working over the road. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that for a minute. I don't know, it's just seemed kind of something I wanted to talk on for a moment. I mean, nothing major, nothing, no epiphanies, no life-changing or life-altering moments or anything. It was just kind of a perspective moment. Makes you understand how everybody's got a different perspective on things. You know, as I said, you got one extreme, you got into the mystery, super excited, and you got Campervan Corey, who's, you know, noticeably nervous and emotional about leaving. And then you've got those of us like myself that are just out here, and this is just another day. You know, it's, you know, I enjoy it, but yeah, it's just another thing to be out here on the road. I've always been drawn to the road. I've always been drawn to it. I mean, it's just something I've always wanted to do, and I'm so happy that I found this type of job If I'd have found this job when I was, 18, 19, things would have been a lot different. Certain things I wouldn't want to change, but definitely would have been nice to have had this job a long time ago. I love the road, and it's cool to see people come out here and see them notice things for the first time or experience it for the first time. Whether it's hesitation, fear, excitement, just whatever it may be. It's cool. It's almost like watching your kid experience something for the first time. Not saying that these guys are my kids or like I'm anything better than them or anything like that. Just meaning it's just cool. It's kind of cool to see people experience what you've experienced all along. And it kind of helps you, appreciate, not reappreciate, but kind of hit the refresh button, so to speak, and make you feel, lucky, happy, make you see that you do something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do what you do, and you get to do it and get paid to do it. It's just, as I said, I couldn't ask for anything better. I really couldn't. So, yeah, on that note, I'm going to get the hell off of here, and I'm going to get on down the road, get this little thing delivered, head back to the house, and, be seeing you.